Hey everybody, welcome to the Saturday night edition of Stupid O'Clock. Joe Dog, just had what sounded like World War III going outside my house. Fireworks from a festival a few miles away, and it was they spent their money making some praise as they probably called it down there. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in John, Dan, and Bill. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I can.
And also,
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Lewis Lee. So, yeah.
Don't you hate when they do that, Lewis?
Okay, I love it. That's one of my
We saw every pore on your face.
Well, good thing I showed you.
Yeah,
Well, how you been, Lewis?
And you look marvelous.
I'm okay. Little family drama, but nothing I can't handle.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I'll explain it after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. We're glad to have you back. We miss you.
Well, believe it or not, I was feeling so down in the dumps earlier. Denise said, "Why don't you do your show tonight? That always makes you feel better." So, at the wife's advice, I'm here.
In your NASA shirt, I see.
A meatball shirt, love it.
Oh, and has your thumbed your nose to Bezos arrived yet?
Yeah, I wore it today, in fact.
Oh, okay.
My Falcon 9 shirt.
that he got from Bezos, which is just somehow just
Yeah.
ludicrously hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. But, you know, he's still making money off of it, so.
Yeah.
He's laughing all the way to, or crying all the way to the bank.
We need to start an ad campaign that says help Jeff Bezos get his rocket into space.
Buy a SpaceX.
Buy a SpaceX T-shirt.
Al, one thing I found out. Remember when they found the engine section to the Saturn V for Apollo 11?
Yeah.
That was Bezos.
Was it?
Yeah. He was under the assumption of salvage rights, and their intentions were to reverse engineer the F1s.
Good luck. Not a one of them was identical.
No.
They're all hand built.
And the funny part was he got it all up. You know, he made a big press conference, all that. NASA was just standing there with the papers going, "Those are ours."
Didn't he wind up donating them though? Like Smithsonian or somebody or
Yeah, he donated them.
It's either that or 20 years in Sing Sing.
By the way, Thursday, I told you guys, and I was on my new computer, told you guys about it. That's the 32-inch 4K monitor and my touchscreen that I do a lot of artwork on. And man, I can't believe how fast this computer is compared to anything else that I've used before. It is really making my workload go by much quicker.
Oh, I bet. And yes, Lewis, I'm drinking lots of, well, I got the blur effect, but I'm drinking water.
Good man. Really Canadian.
Clearly Canadian. God, where did you find that?
Ingles of all places.
Huh.
And they had all the flavors. They had all the flavors. Didn't have one single flavor of Gatorade that I liked, but they had this stuff.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, did you check the bottom to see if it's out of date?
New for the bicentennial.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one of those since the early 90s.
Oh, they recently. Yeah, I had a girlfriend that was her favorite. I've always bought that water for her. And then one day I went in, they just didn't have it, and the guy behind the counter was like, "Yeah, they quit making them." I'm like, "What? How? It doesn't have a." Either I'm really hard of seeing, or the Canadians don't put that stuff on the bottle.
I saw something the other day that just it hurt me deeply. Do you know World War One is closer to 1970 than we are today to 1970?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of those things.
They're not funny.
They are to somebody, just not us. Oh.
There we go. There's Stephanie. You made it.
I made it. I had to reboot my laptop to get in. I don't know what the deal is.
Look who
Well, I
we
hope that pair of boots fit a whole lot better than the other ones.
You will, yeah. I have
Look
several
who's-
pairs.
Look who's with us, Stephanie. Lewis.
Hey!
Oh,
And he was in the green room last night.
High five. Come on.
what? Lewis came to the green room last night?
There you go. Okay.
I can't get the,
The magic of special effects.
Yes,
yes.
the left-right switch has been flipped.
Carl,
And
Or no.
they've had him at
Chris,
for over a year, and been ramping up and slowly ramping up and re-establishing the distribution networks.
For what? What did I miss?
oh, clearly Canadian. John's got a bottle.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen clearly Canadian since the early 90s.
And it doesn't have
Yeah.
a date, it has a code.
Oh,
One of those. You got to look it up on the internet to figure out how poisoned you are.
Yeah.
can I be sarcastic, please? Please.
Is there anything in the universe that can stop you?
I can be nice if I want to.
So seldom the urge hits.
But yeah, hey Ryan, how are you doing tonight? Oh, so what's the crazy news going on, people? Oh yeah, I got some. I saw where John posted it up in Stupid O'Clock. The big American commies have been banned from Russia.
Do what now?
The big American commies have been banned from Russia.
Have you heard? Russia's State Department put out a list of 963 people, I think it was, that they will not allow into Russia.
For any circumstance.
For any
whatsoever.
circumstance whatsoever. They're banned from Russia. Morgan Freeman is one of them.
Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner. What's her name? The senator from New York. That
AOC.
yeah, that idiot
Oh,
And-
yeah.
is banned. Now that one I don't blame them for.
No.
I could see that one.
There's something rabid there. I mean, that's contagious.
Meathead, I thought Meathead was a big commie. Or he was on All in the Family. I don't know about real life.
He might not be enough of one now. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I posted up. I said, "What are they going to do now? They're banned from the motherland."
You really?
Now the GOP is going to have a field day. They were such bad commies, even the commies don't want them.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chinese will want them.
Oh, President Joe Biden tops the list of Americans banned from traveling to Russia. Strange enough, Trump's not on it. Wonder if I want to see if they got. I want to see if they got a copy of this list. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Hunter Biden, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, I can see that one too.
Is Elon on there? Elon's got to be on there.
He better be. I mean, either that or Putin's looking for a fight again.
Arlie Ermy. I know he's dead, but I bet he's still on the list.
Just in case.
His anger radiates beyond the grave.
Hey, there was a movie that he was in where he played a ghost that was a drill sergeant.
That's right. Oh shoot! I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, but you're right.
It was a Peter Jackson film, believe it or not.
And it had Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, had Michael J. Fox in it.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox.
Night Walker, Nightcrawler, something like that.
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
And believe it or not, he used his sergeant from Platoon as his guide, and they say that may actually. They never said his name. They always called him Sarge.
Full Metal Jacket. No.
They used his Full Metal Jacket character. That he was that he is the ghost of that drill sergeant.
Oh.
So that
All right.
movie is a sequel to Full Metal Jacket.
Lindsay's plane landed safely in Atlanta at 11 o'clock.
Excellent.
Now,
The
all I have to worry
Frighteners.
about is whether or not the shuttle hung around and waited on her.
If she gets a ride.
Yep.
Otherwise, you got to drive to Atlanta.
Otherwise, she has to stay there
Until the
until the next shuttle leaves.
Hmm.
She's already spent $60 on the ticket.
Which would be when, Dan?
Here.
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, well, you should walk
Well,
around.
I'm assuming tomorrow, but still, I didn't know if it'd be early or late or what.
Haven't the faintest idea. All I know is that if everything happened on time, she would be in Athens a little after 1 a.m.
Hmm.
Yep.
Just in time.
Well, no, because I'll have to leave the show and drive half an hour to get to Athens, or that part of Athens anyway. It's like 8 minutes to one side of Athens and another 20 to get to the other side where I have to pick her up
Oh.
because of traffic.
Oh, and Lucas, you missed the Grillzilla update in the pre-show. I've got it all tore down, and the deeper I went into the grill, the worse it got.
Oh, I was supposed to measure the height of mine. I'll do that in the morning.
Okay,
So, I forgot all about it.
I've not got over to that side yet. I'm still in the process of tear down. Oh, but yeah.
The radio
Well-
station's got all new equipment.
Say what?
The radio stations at the Radio Ranch on Pineville got all new equipment, all new boards, all new mics, all kinds of great stuff. And I put in and got a couple of the RE20 mics.
Oh,
Yeah, let's see, got one right here.
are you using any of those now?
Huh?
Are you using any of those now?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
I could. This I would have to use this one, but yeah. I mean, I'm all set up for podcasting now.
Oh, yeah.
Last night at the auction, they had an old school Fender mixing board with the case for it, which was big as a steamer box.
Mhm.
And they turned around and they started to auction it off, and they said, "Oh, wait a minute." And they brought over this big old huge tub. I mean, gigantic Rubbermaid tub that looked like there was 20 octopuses in there. It was all the cables for the mixing board.
Mhm.
And I mean to tell you, it's like they said, whoever buys the mixing board and that, he says, good luck getting all these cables entangled.
I wish I was there. I would have bid on the board just for the cords.
Somebody got it for, I think it was $185, and they had a boom and a couple mic stands that they threw in with it. I don't know where all this came from, but
Oh,
it was.
Lewis, do you still need that 50-foot HDMI cord?
No, I bought 2 of them from Hastings.
Oh, okay. Oh, Stephanie, we were talking about the when the guy discovered, recovered the Apollo 11 first stage engines.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when that happened?
Vaguely, yeah.
That was Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
One of the it's come out that one of his original plans was to claim salvage rights on them and then sort of reverse engineer to help build his engines. And at the press conference, NASA was standing there with the paper going, just wiggling. And went, yeah, thank you for bringing them back.
Uh-huh.
That's when they found out that NASA property is NASA property
Uh-huh.
until they say it's no longer NASA property.
Right.
Yeah, they all got put into the Museum of Flight in Seattle.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
That's what I'm seeing right here.
Okay. Because
they
if it
weren't
was
very
Apollo 11, I'm surprised it didn't get put in the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Well, let me keep reading here because Smithsonian did get one, National Air and Space Museum in Washington, Museum of Flight, Seattle, Washington. Let's see who else. The Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Oh, they split them up?
Yeah, well, there were 5 of them, but only 3 of them you could actually recognize as a rocket engine. They weren't in the greatest shape.
No.
Well, sitting at the bottom of the ocean for 45 years didn't help.
Well,
No.
I think it actually when the F1 or the booster crashed in the bottom, I think it landed engine first, so all the bells were crushed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it, falling from that altitude and hitting the water didn't help matters either.
Belly flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, water isn't soft.
No.
Right.
If you hit it from high enough up, it's basically not much different than concrete.
Yeah.
Because it does not compress. Oh, Lord. I got storms coming in.
Everybody's saying,
Yeah, we had a little bit of storms and
Had it this morning.
I don't
Damn it.
mind the rain. We need the rain. I just don't want it to storm.
yeah.
She's on the shuttle.
Ah. So what
So-
time are they supposed to get there?
It should take 90 minutes from right now.
Okay.
So I'll have to leave in about an hour.
Okay. Somebody set an alarm. Make sure Dan don't.
11:21 Central Time.
Alexa, set alarm for 1 hour.
Yep. Well, darn it. I did not get my Facebook money in PayPal yet. Did any of you join that lawsuit a couple of years ago about the Facebook facial recognition lawsuit they were filing against Facebook?
No, but I know somebody that's got their check from it.
Well, I do too. Laura got her $397.
Woo!
They send it to your PayPal account. And then, of course, you can transfer it over free of charge to get it there in 3 days to your bank. I haven't got mine yet. And she got hers about 3 days ago, but I think she filed hers before I did.
Let me start looking at my PayPals.
Yeah, you better. If you join that lawsuit, my little sister Jenny, she kept putting it off, and then it got to be to where it was too late. But 90 degree on the subject matter, kind of going on what John talked about on the politics ends. Was listening to WBBM radio out of Chicago this afternoon, and there was a big old oops on the Governor Prickster, as I like to call him. But anyway, his people didn't do the math right back in 2020 on the census. So therefore now Illinois has lost out millions of dollars that they could have gotten because the census wasn't counted correctly. So, but I'm sure he'll swing that in a certain direction where it'll look like he's not at fault or his people are not at fault. I'm sure he personally didn't do it, but his department, whatever.
Be right back. Be right back. I hear Donna.
There's a recall out on Jif peanut butter because of a salmonella contamination in the Lexington plant. So check your peanut butter.
I can't remember if I used Jif or Skippy. I haven't even used peanut butter in a long time.
I'm retired, hon. I'm no longer doing the work. I'm a full-time writer now. I cannot help you there. I'm sorry.
She's just asking if you know how to go about asking for permission to do it.
No clue on that.
And I just assumed it was a she, so that was.
I don't know that NASA does that. I think it would probably be one of the space.
Yeah, I can't remember who that one rocket company was that used to do that, and they sent James Doohan when he died. They sent some of his ashes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, give StreamYard permission so we can see who you are. We like to know who we're talking to.
Heather Cook.
Oh, Heather. Okay.
Heather the cook from HallowCon. Is that right? I mean, we do know several.
Heather is a slightly popular name. This coming from someone named John.
Yep. She confirmed it.
Alrighty.
Good to have you in here.
Sorry to hear that news, Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. Hang in there.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
There you are.
Checking up on. Oh, Heather, I'm so sorry. Oh, well, I guess y'all probably already covered that.
Well, we don't know.
Oh,
Yeah. NASA doesn't do it, and I'm not. Uh, I'm looking at. I did a Google search, and well, it wasn't Google, but anyway, there's several companies that do that sort of thing. Celestis looks like it's one of the biggest, but there are others. Beyond Burials, Aura Flights, Elysium Space. So
all right. Lewis is trying to get a microphone
Yeah,
straight.
that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm wearing my official The Batman shirt and hat tonight because I was checking out the domestic on the box office and everything for, all the totals. Looking like 48.1% of domestics. The movie did 369,261,437. International was basically just under 400 million, and worldwide was 768,461,437 to date. And I'm assuming a lot of I guess
You're muted, Lewis.
Oh, am I?
No,
I'm not
Lewis.
muted.
No,
Lewis.
Oh, Lewis.
Yeah, he's got his mic muted.
Nope.
You may have to go out and come back in with reload the browser or whatever the thing is.
It's not worth the trouble.
All right.
I'll just stick with this.
We'll worry about that next week.
There's an impedance issue. There's a professional mic with an XLR plug, and I'm trying to go XLR to mini, and I'm sure that there's an impedance issue. I'll just try it some other time.
You may need phantom power.
No, not on the RE20s.
Oh, okay.
No. My side address Audio Technica mic in my booth does require phantom power. And I've got it through my mixing board in there, so.
Oh, good. That's what I want, Carl. I want him. The thing is, I want him to find them while you're asleep. Yeah, Lewis, as part of my Joe Dog Mischievous, I bought Carl Whitzman's cat a bunch of toys. A lot of cat toys, and had them shipped through Amazon. And I addressed the package to the cat.
Oh, you scamp.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure you guys have already discussed this on a previous show, but who all is going to see Maverick?
Oh.
Maverick?
I'm still debating.
Really? It's going to be at Denise's IMAX, so I'm going to go see it at the IMAX Thursday.
On the really big screen.
A really big screen and a really loud speaker.
Hey, there.
Chris.
Hello, everybody.
Chris?
That's how I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I saw it at the IMAX too. Yeah.
It was like a 4-story screen. I know we were up in the 3rd level, and I was still looking up. But my niece, she wanted to see it on that, so I
Yeah. Ours here
spent
room is actually a 6-story tall screen.
it is. Did the one Champagne? I'll never go to it again.
Thank you,
Why?
Carl.
I don't like it. I'm too much of a traditionalist as far as theatrical movies.
Good night, Carl.
He's got to go to bed so he can be up early for his covert grocery shopping.
Bill, you're like me. If you want to see a movie on a big screen, there better be a steering wheel in front of you.
Yep.
And
And
right now, our millennial kids are going, huh?
our closest drive-in is in Gibson City, which is closer to Michaela and Keisha than me. It's called the Harvest Moon Drive-In, and they got twin screens, so they're always doing double features and things like that. And they really do it up very nicely, but it's a very long way to drive to go see a movie.
Yeah.
The nearest one I know of to me is in Leeds, Alabama, which means I drive 2 hours south to Birmingham and then about an hour east on I-20. So
We got two of them within an hour of us, Joe. We got the outdoor, what do they call it over here in Trenton?
Wildwood
Wildwood, and then we got the Midway
up in Athens.
between Athens and Etowah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those are less than an hour away from us.
And they made a killing during the pandemic.
Oh, didn't they? The Wildwood would deliver the food to your car, so you didn't have to stand in line and
Do what?
they deliver the food to your car.
Oh, what you call and tell them what you want?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably run your credit card right then and just bring it out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, Carl.
good night, Carl.
That would be great, just regardless, pandemic or no pandemic. That would be a wonderful thing to get somebody to come to your drive-in.
Donna just posted, she's listening to Carl argue with Calvin. Thanks, Joe Dog. You're welcome.
Joe Dog's going to get a package in the mail here real soon that has a whole bunch of holes in it.
If there's shit to be stirred, Joe Dog's got a big.
Well, he better sniff of the package before he opens it if he gets one. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, if it ain't ticking, it's probably going to be stinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have a question for everybody, since we were
42.
talking about movies before it got switched to cat poop. And it wouldn't be stupid o'clock if it hadn't been. But anyway, has anybody seen the new Doctor Strange movie yet?
No.
I
The
have not.
Multiverse of Madness. I thought that was Washington,
Okay.
D.C.
I've heard
Okay.
that it's really kind of a horror movie.
Well,
Would make sense, considering how most of his major villains were demons of some sort or another.
Mhm.
Oh, and the time frame has just been reset. 1 hour from now, I leave the house.
okay.
12:35. Took them a while to get out of the airport parking lot.
That's understandable.
It's Friday night. They got in a traffic jam with all the other airplanes.
Well, what I want to try to figure out is the Doctor Strange Universe of Madness
Mhm.
is a Marvel movie with crossovers of other Marvel movies. Chris Evans is Johnny Flame from the Fantastic Four.
And he's also Captain America. From the,
Mhm.
That could get interesting.
I wonder if he gets paid for both parts.
Oh, he's not Captain America in it. Captain
Oh.
America is not in it.
that we know of.
Well, yeah.
And they're saying since Calvin doesn't bother me, she's very amused by Carl yelling at the cat.
It's the way Carl reacts is the reason why Calvin pays attention to Carl more than Donna.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the only reason why I asked was I was just debating on, man, whether I should go see it in the theater or wait for the DVD to come out with, because
The answer is yes.
well, that's why I'm beginning to wonder. But I mean, I'm a Doctor Strange fan, but I'm more of a Benedict Cumberbatch fan than a Doctor Strange fan. So,
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch fits that role perfectly.
Here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
deal. Go to the movie theater to watch Doctor Strange, and then buy the DVD just to watch Benedict Cumberbatch.
yeah. Well, may end up at least doing the second part, but yeah. See, I waited for the DVD on the last Spider-Man movie, the No Way Home one, and then I got it. And even though I enjoyed it, I watched it twice. I wished I went to see it at the theater.
You
I
know,
have heard several friends, a number of friends talk about it was good. There were some that wanted it to be better, but there was others that was about everything they wanted it to be, and then there's others that were like, yeah, it's a good film. I'd go see it.
Oh, and Lewis was talking about going to see Maverick. I mean, this has already been out in the news, TMZ, Entertainment Tonight, and all that. Tom Cruise says the scene with Val Kilmer was very touching.
The only question I have is James Garner going to be in it?
If he is, it's going to be
or Mel Gibson.
No.
Or who was Bart Maverick?
Brett Maverick. Bart
Different
Maverick.
universe.
Oh, Roger Moore. He was one of the Mavericks.
Who was the other guy?
That's what I'm trying to think of.
I'll let you look it up.
Oh, and Lewis, have you seen any of the commercials and made sense of what one guy says to him? Says to Tom Cruise, when he says, "You didn't help my father."
Oh yeah, it's
That's
Goose's
Goose's
son.
son.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that should be interesting. But then, where the space plane comes in, I've got no damn clue.
Well, Tom Cruise is now a test pilot.
Yeah.
And he's purposely getting busted because if he gets
promoted,
well, he can't fly anymore.
Oh, if he gets to test pilot,
No. Admirals do not fly. They are too valuable to the service.
ah,
So if he gets promoted to admiral, he's grounded.
They assigned him a pilot.
He's doing stupid shit, get busted, so that he can't be promoted to admiral.
Okay, John. Jack Kelly was Bart Maverick. Robert Colbert was Brent Maverick. And Roger Moore was Beauregard Maverick.
Roger Moore does not look like a Beauregard.
No.
But he was good in it. His little parts in that show. And now everybody's thinking, are they talking about the new movie or are they talking about the damn Western? What the hell's going on?
Yes. Yeah. Embrace the power of and.
Yeah.
There's a crossover we want to see.
Yeah. The Maverick multiverse.
well, I love the Mel Gibson. Was it Mel Gibson in the Maverick movie?
Yes.
At the very end, they're come to find out that he was James Garner's son.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the movie that came out 25 years ago, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I think the spoiler alert's over. My watch must have stopped.
Yeah, the statute of limitations is long expired.
I had somebody the other day on one of the news things. Somebody mentioned, "I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar," and they said, "Too soon." I'm like, "Too soon?" That was like, 14 years ago. It's
Still too soon.
Yeah,
And I'll wear the
some
shirt. It's still too soon.
emotionally attached. Extremely emotionally attached.
Of course, I bought this off Alan Tudyk's, whatever his last name is, off his website.
Two ducks. Yeah. Two of them.
Oh,
Did you actually
believe
meet him or get close enough to, or were you even anywhere near some of the main actors, Lewis,
When?
when they were in town?
No.
Let's see, it was Chadwick Boseman, Alan Tudyk, and who was the other one?
Han Solo.
Harrison Ford.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
I
had,
think
I had probably 50 feet from Chadwick Boseman.
Mm.
You know, I was an extra. I was sitting right behind the actress that played his wife,
Mm.
and so I was in a couple of shots where Alan Tudyk's character Kathy is throwing the racial epithets at Robinson, and when they would cut to Robinson's wife for reaction,
Yeah.
I was right behind her wearing a brown fedora and a tan jacket.
So now we know where to look for you.
Yeah.
There he is.
I used to know exactly how far into the movie it was. But
Say, hey, Lewis, you can now go to conventions, sign autographs, and say you were in 42.
yeah, like that one guy in Galaxy Quest, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Did you get a headshot made?
Dan's laughing, John's laughing, Stephanie's laughing because she has seen the people at the conventions.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a few people in this room right now that have actually paid people for that. That's
No, not me.
not me.
I don't pay for autographs. Now I will admit I did pay to have a picture taken, only to recreate a picture of Lewis and the same guy.
Which one?
Eric
Anyone?
Estrada.
Huh?
Eric Estrada.
Oh, okay.
Of course, everybody says with that grin I had, we know what you did.
He's a pretty nice guy, though. He was.
Oh, he was a hoot. When
And I'm a little pissed off because I mean, somebody that old should not look at you.
well, when nobody was around his table and it was just sort of slow, he would go harass the other actors.
Who was this?
Eric Estrada.
Estrada.
And if he wasn't harassing other actors, he'd say, "All right, I'm taking a 30-minute break," and he'd go harass vendors.
Well,
Sounds like he had fun.
Our booth, they had a motorcycle shop, and they had a what's it called, a hydroglide, Kawasaki, which is what they rode in Chip, and they had him sit on it and take pictures and stuff. And, yeah, he was kind of cool about that.
Well, Lou Ferrigno looks amazing to be as old as he is.
I believe it.
I think he's in his 70s now.
What'd you say?
Didn't Lou Ferrigno recently get cochlear implants?
I seem to remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
So he can hear now.
But it's well hidden because I saw him, and I'm gonna tell you, he's a big old boy, even now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of these. Hey,
as big as Mr. T ever looked on the A team. I'll never forget when they had the big, I can't remember which WrestleMania, Chris might know, but
Probably 3.
Hulk Hogan was on there and Mr. T come on there, and standing side by side next to Hulk Hogan, Mr. T looked like a kid because Hogan was just so huge then.
Hogan was 6'6", 6'7", about 330 at his biggest.
It doesn't
You
say
need to
when.
watch Young Rock.
About the size of my nephew, then. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't say when Lou Ferrigno got his cochlear implants, but just says later in life, and restored much of his
That
hearing.
was like within the last 2 years. Anyway,
I remember when Rush Limbaugh
Got his. When Rush Limbaugh did what?
no, I was going to. I interrupted Lewis. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say that I remember when Rush Limbaugh got his because he was almost just as deaf, and here the guy did radio, and of course TV for a while too, but he still commented on certain tones that he could not hear. And so Bo Snerdley would do his little wizardry on the mixing board to adjust the tones of the callers so that Rush could hear them.
February 2021.
Oh, is that when he got it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not.
No, I thought it was earlier than that.
No. So my question before, when we were talking about wrestlers, does anybody watch Young Rock?
I've tried to. I just hadn't really.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good show. I mean, I like Rock anyway, but the actor that they got to play Andre the Giant, man, he's good. I mean, he is a big dude. Sounds just like him. Needs to grow a little bit more hair because Andre had fairly long hair.
Oh yeah.
But this guy is very convincing. All the guys. I mean, they've got Rowdy Roddy Piper. They got all the big 80s and 90s wrestlers. So, and they all look real close to playing.
Well, that was now I've heard that he was a real stickler on that too.
Yeah.
And what was the name of that movie?
No, it's a TV show on NBC called Young Rock.
It's
Dwayne
Johnson's life story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's set a few years in the future. He's running for president, and so he's got an embedded reporter who's constantly interviewing him, and he's telling stories from his youth. And I mean, he's rather open about a lot of stuff and very embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
When he was in high school, he used to shoplift. Talking about his dad doing, playing the game. Con.
Yeah, his dad was a big wrestler.
Yeah,
Rocky Johnson.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
his grandfather
remember
was
him.
even bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
His grandfather was one of the Wild Samoans.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson can't run for president. He's Black Adam.
Huh?
He's a villain. Going to be if we ever see him.
He's never stopped anybody before.
He's qualified then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that if you remember back when the big joke was Dwayne Johnson was going to run for president, that was a teaser for the show.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of all that.
Yeah.
But people take stuff too serious.
Well, he's another one that's really nice. I met and talked to him on the sidelines at a Miami game back when I was working in Florida.
Yeah.
They had sent me over to Miami to get the last game in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, he was a good player for Miami, but Warren Sapp came along and took his starting job from him.
Yeah, and then he went to the CFL for a while, and he kind of lost heart and decided to get into wrestling.
Yep.
He made his mama very happy. His mama was a promoter.
Yeah.
Over from her mom.
Mm.
And when he left CFL, it was one of those, he just cleaned out his locker and left, if what I remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was cut from the team.
Oh, he was cut. Okay.
They tried to get him back the next season, but he said, no, I'm going to go into wrestling.
It wound up being a good move for him. There's several people that.
I'd say it was an excellent move for him.
He's making more than anybody on the team, making any more than the entire team probably combined.
He's making more than the whole team.
Yeah. But there's several wrestlers that didn't quite cut it in the NFL and got into wrestling.
Yeah. Of course,
Ron Simmons, Dr. Death, Steve Williams,
now he's a Disney
Lex
princess.
Bill Blurg.
Rock Johnson. He played the Tooth Fairy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what was the Jungle Cruise movie that he just did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that yet.
And
if you get a chance, watch The Game Plan. It's pretty funny.
Jungle Cruise is on Disney Plus, and it's very worth it.
And then what was the other one he did with Jack Black and
Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Jumanji.
Was that the Jumanji one? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, he was.
I just couldn't imagine Jumanji without Robert Williams.
It is actually a sequel. It's not a reboot.
Yeah.
It's a sequel.
Yeah.
I know. But...
And it's got a lot of people's favorite gal from Doctor Who.
Oh,
Karen
yeah, Karen Gillian.
And she's got a new movie coming out, which is she does something. She's like a scientist that comes down with cancer, so she clones herself to cure her cancer. And then the clone tries to kill her.
Well, that's great. Cool.
There's scientifically, I got so many questions on that one.
It's a comedy, so that eliminates a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't mind having HallowCon's around.
Oh, and Stephanie, I got to send you a video.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send it to you probably next Thursday, so I can get your review of it.
Okay.
About the Yellowstone volcano.
Okay.
I don't think a paper shredder can do the damage you're going to do to this one. She's cracking her knuckles. Yeah,
Bring it on.
I watched it last night, and I'm going, yes, Stephanie watched this one.
How long is it?
It may be 13 minutes.
Opposed to one of those that goes on for 2 hours or something. Okay,
Yeah.
I can handle 13 minutes without putting my fist through my computer screen.
All I just want to know is if you let me know if you comment on the video, because I want to come in and read it.
Okay. Well, this should be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's probably like trying to watch something on Twitter that technically should last about 10 seconds, but they stretch it out to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No. She's, she claims to be some type of geologist, and that the chances of Yellowstone blowing in the next couple millennia are slim to none.
Okay. Yeah. Probably. It's. I mean, we know we're learning more all the time.
Yeah.
Am I getting an echo?
I'm getting an echo too.
We know things that. Whoa.
Yeah, you got something turned on that shouldn't be, or
Uh,
not plugged in, or
it's either Lewis or Chris.
Might be me, but I hadn't had any problems in a while. I don't know what it could be.
Okay.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Everybody seems to have on echo cancellation. So
yeah, I never shut mine off.
So we know. I can't do this. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Lewis is
Hold on a
echo
second.
cancellation zone. But it's not Lewis.
Everybody said to turn muting your mic. See if it goes away.
Who? What now?
It's Joe Dog.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
No, it's Joe Dog.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. I'm still
There
here.
you go.
Oh,
I don't know how
Test
I
one.
can see mine because everything's through my ears.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay, it stopped.
No, you're okay now.
I think.
So as we go, we're learning more and more. Every time I start to explain, the echo comes back.
I can't understand yours. Oh, there I am. Okay. Adios. Okay.
Let me get out and come back in.
No.
Okay, I think Joe Dog had a fit there.
I know sometimes when my plug comes unplugged from my
Oh,
little hub,
sorry about
it'll
that.
echo on me.
Let me go get my inhaler. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, sounds like you could use that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
all right, try it again, Stephanie.
Okay. So the things that we have learned about volcanology and about Yellowstone in particular indicate that there are two magma chambers. One is very large. They're both very large. One is really large and very deep, and appears to be being fed by a magma plume from the mantle, which is absolutely doggone huge. The top chamber has to be at least half full before an eruption can occur. That said, it turns out that it can fill a lot faster than we had thought, partly because of that gigantic magma plume coming up from the mantle. And whereas before we thought it was a very, very slow, gradual process that literally took millennia to fill up the magma chamber, it turns out that it can be done it can happen in 1 to 2 decades. So, was that an echo, or did somebody start to ask me something?
Go ahead.
So the gist of it is, yeah, it could be millennia from now before the thing erupts again, or it could be, in a few years. Right now, the magma chamber is not full enough. Did you hear all that, Joe?
I heard that the magma chamber's not full enough, and the way she was talking, the way the plate is shifting, it may never fill up again.
Well, given that there is an entire track across the continent from, yeah, from roughly Northern California to where it is now, I doubt that. The magma plume coming out of the mantle originates from the bottom of the mantle, and it's gigantic, and it really it just all depends on how much material is being transported in that plume.
Yeah.
And
All right.
when was the last time that anything happened, Stephanie?
A super eruption, the last super eruption from the Yellowstone plume took place about 600,000 years ago.
Okay.
The average, let me see, let me pull up my,
Your cheat sheet.
no, I've got an actual lecture on same, and it's got that information in it. The average period between super eruptions has varied somewhat over time, but there's I've got that somewhere in here. Just be patient with me, and let me see if I can find it real quick. Uh, Let me see if I can. I wish I knew how to post a picture um, in the podcast. Okay. Um, Overall, if you go back nearly 1.5, well, no, excuse me, go back about 14 million years ago to 16 million years ago, the average is roughly 1.6 million years between super eruptions. However, the more recent eruptions indicate a decreasing frequency of about 600,000 to 800,000 years. And the last eruption was 630,000 years ago.
Okay, so all right.
And what I was saying while you were off, Joe, is that we know that the top magma chamber has to be at least half full for a super eruption to occur. It is not currently, not with viable magma at least. And unfortunately, however, it doesn't take the millennia to fill the thing up that we expected, given its size, because of the size of the mantle plume that feeds it. It can actually fill up in a decade or two.
Okay. But we're more likely to lose for one of the Cascade volcanoes to pop before then.
Yeah, I'd say, but they're not fed from the same source.
Mm.
The Cascade volcanoes are fed from the subduction and subsequent melting of the Pacific plate. So it hits the Pacific floor, hits the North American plate and gets bent down under it, and it is pushed down into the mantle and starts to melt, and then it filters up through the cracks and fissures, and that's what forms the volcanoes of the Cascade Range.
Okay.
Is there one that's more likely to erupt than another?
Not particularly, no.
And isn't this the 40th anniversary of Mount St. Helens?
I think it was 80.
Yeah, you're right. It was in 1980 because I was there on. I was
this-
there. I was there on the 20th anniversary.
But this is the month.
I know it erupted in 1980 because
USGS.gov is saying that their average on the eruptions at Yellowstone is once every 725,000 years between eruptions.
Yeah, that's about a halfway between my 600,000 and 800,000. So yeah.
They're saying they experienced 3 at 2.08, 1.3, and 0.631 million years ago.
Mount St. Helens erupted on May 18th, 1980.
Okay. So we just, not the 40th anniversary, but anniversary.
And it was
Yeah.
years before my daughter.
Okay.
So
Say that
Step-
again, Luke.
That was 2 days before my daughter was born.
Ah,
Turned 40.
Here's the hotspot track from Wikipedia.
Quick, my
It's
client
in the messenger chat.
and
If somebody could throw it up.
change made, so I'm gonna get off and do my work. It was fun being on with you guys.
It's great having you.
oh, we're glad to have you. So
Good to see you again.
You going back?
yeah,
Thanks for stopping by.
See y'all later.
see
All
you.
right. Well, I'll give you a holler, Lewis. I need to talk to you about some video stuff.
Okay, just call me tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
And I mistakenly said that Lewis was in the green room last night, and I correct myself on that. He was on Last Man Standing with all of us
Oh,
last Thursday night.
all right. Let me do something here. Well, that is full screen.
Okay. So if you look down at the lower left, that's one of the earliest eruptions. That's the caldera. And you'll notice that it's moving gradually, roughly northeast with a slight curve in there. And it's got the eruption that's the millions of years before the present.
Yeah.
You'll also notice that there are no mountains in the path.
Yeah.
It's because it was punching through.
It was
So-
moving the mountains out of the way.
Yeah, it was blowing them out of the way. The path is actually caused not by the motion of the hot spot, but by the motion of the plate over the hot spot.
Yeah.
So it's moved from that's the corner of that's about dead central, I think. Okay. That's in Nevada, Oregon, not far from the corner of California there, the northeast corner of California. So that's how far we know that the thing has moved, or
Wow.
that we have moved over it.
So, Stephanie, if this actually did erupt, just, plain devil's advocate here. And,
Well, it's not. It's not an if. It's a when.
well, yeah, I know when, but I mean in our time and not
Okay.
750,000 years from now or whatever, and it starts spewing ash. Is that going to go like thousands of miles and all across the United States and causing widespread fires and damaging buildings and
Fires? No. Um, Causing problems? Yes. Let me see if I can find um, the extent of the ash deposits.
Bill, best way to describe that: imagine a snow that never melts and just turns
Yeah,
to mud when it rains.
I've got the pictures here, but I don't know how to drop them in.
Well,
One
what I
thing,
think of when we first moved up here to Illinois, um, we had not very far from us at all was a General Electric factory, and the little white powdery substances that they used to put in transistor radios, I can't think of what it is. They had an issue one time where something blew, and it blew all this stuff out of one of their big, huge smokestacks, and it covered several neighborhoods, and it looked like Christmas Day in the middle of August. And they had a hard time going through cleaning all this up. Well, of course, back then, I would imagine they didn't, you know, treat it like they would today. But
Okay.
so that's why I asked her that question about the ash. If that can spew thousands of miles across the United States, you know, what kind of damage would it do? Or
The current Yellowstone caldera has seen 3 eruptions. Three super eruptions. Two were very, very large, and one was sort of moderate for a super volcano. Here's one of them. If one of y'all could pull that up and throw it onto the screen. That's the extent of the ash fall. That's where there is an actual detectable rock layer of ash. That doesn't mean it wasn't a worldwide detectable ash. That's where there's an actual layer of rock, and in most places it's at least a meter thick of welded ash. It's called tuff. Tuff. Now, in Nebraska, there's actually a state park called a state monument called the Fossil Beds National Monument, and this particular monument was at the time of one of the Yellowstone eruptions a watering hole for the local wildlife. They all died of ash inhalation, silicosis. The longest it took, the smaller creatures died very quickly. And so you find them on the bottom. And then slightly larger to the biggest and the scavengers. The longest it took any of them to die, we estimate, was about a week.
Now, I remember when Mount St. Helens popped, our Air Pollution Control Bureau was reporting that there were some ash particulate here.
Yes. If Yellowstone goes, we are looking at a volcanic winter for the planet.
so it would be more powerful than Krakatoa.
Yes. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up something here called the Volcanic Explosivity Index, and it's kind of a Richter scale for volcanoes. Okay, so like Hawaiian eruption is no big whoop, and it's a VEI of 0. Let's see.
Well, that's kind of because Kilauea's been almost under constant eruption, hasn't it?
Well, yeah. Mount Vesuvius, when it went, was a VEI 5.
Hmm.
Um,
You talking about the one that destroyed Pompeii?
yes.
Okay.
Uh,
What was
Santorini.
what was this
Uh,
last one that went up and they finally figured out how high up the plume went and they showed how it left the atmosphere and they actually showed like here's the top of the plume, here's some satellites flying by it kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
Is that the one
Okay.
in the Pacific?
Where I know it's on here. Mount St. Helens is also a VEI. Was also a VEI 5. The smaller of the three super volcano eruptions at Yellowstone was a VEI of 7, which also includes Mount Mazama, which everybody knows as Crater Lake, Santorini, and Mount Tambora. The biggest ones are considered megacolossal, and that includes the two big Yellowstone eruptions and Mount Toba. So those were the really big jobbers. So
Oh, that
does that help?
volcano,
Krakatoa was a 6,
that
Wow.
volcano
a
that went up,
measly 6.
that volcano that went up was in Tonga and it was an offshore
Mm-hmm.
volcano.
Yes.
And that's the one they said that the blast from it actually hit it went into space.
Yeah.
Uh,
Most of them do. We just can't. That was, we're just now getting to where we can detect them. So, does that give y'all now? Each one of those numbers increases by a factor of 10.
Wow.
One of the measures that they use is ejecta volume, and so you're looking at in terms of cubic meters for a VEI 0. You're looking at 10 to the fourth, so that's uh, a 1 with 4 zeros. For a Mount Vesuvius or a Mount St. Helens, you're looking at an ejecta volume of about a cubic kilometer. For Krakatoa, you're looking at about 10 cubic kilometers. For Santorini or Tambora, you're looking at 100 cubic kilometers. For a major Yellowstone eruption, you're looking at well over 1,000 cubic kilometers of ejecta.
So say it happens, and
Okay.
half the United States is affected by this.
Oh no,
Have
not
a good
half.
night, Sarah. Thank you for
Half the
joining in.
United States will be buried in
Night, sir.
ash.
Right.
Good night, Sarah. Half the United States will be buried in ash. Uh,
Well, that's
the
what I
rest
meant.
of it, the rest of it will still be affected by ash. And remember, you're looking at you're looking at aircraft will not be able to fly.
Right.
You will have ash being deposited on the East Coast.
Yeah.
on the beaches of the East Coast.
Yes, you will have ash being deposited in Europe.
Yeah.
and North Africa,
Yeah,
Asia, and
Asia,
Will it
Australia.
reach South America as well?
It will take a little longer to get into the southern hemisphere than the northern. We're talking about a matter of hours for it to reach the East Coast, and probably within the first day it'll reach Europe. Within a couple of days, it has swept the northern hemisphere, and then it will start filtering down into the southern hemisphere. We are definitely talking a nuclear winter of some The severity depends on how big the eruption is. So, it
Is there a possibility we could develop some technology to help lessen the impact of the nuclear winter it causes?
um,
Yes, buy more lava lamps.
Start getting out those plans for
every
those
lava lamp you
1950s
buy means
storm
a smaller
shelters.
magma chamber. Okay.
Hey, here's one. Could we launch another manhole, or would that just make it worse?
that would just make it worse.
Uh,
See, the trick is, you remember how St. Helens did? How the pressure started to build and it started to bulge.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was there was an earthquake nearby that exploited a weakness in the flank of the volcano and caused a landslide, and that released the pressure, and the explosion ensued.
And blew half the mountain side of the mountain off.
Instead
Right.
of going up, it went out.
Right. Now, in the case of a supervolcano, you have something very similar occurs. You start to get pressure build up, and so you start to get a doming in the bottom of the caldera. And the last thing you want to do, if that thing is continuing to build, the last thing you want to do is to do anything that's going to crack that dome, because that's just going to trigger the eruption sooner.
Yeah.
We cannot. Somebody threw up a picture of the magma chambers earlier.
Yes.
Throw that back up, please.
I did. Let me see.
Got to find it again.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me see.
Let's see if I can do some wizardry. Nope, that ain't it. Let's see. I got it from the USGS, so.
Yeah, that's a good place to grab it.
So basically, Stephanie, we start canning vegetables now. And I mean, I know it sounds like I'm making light of this, and I'm not, but I'm thinking, okay, what does this affect? You're talking nuclear winter, you're talking no food other than what we have or what can
Well,
be.
yeah, it's gonna do a number on the breadbasket. That's for sure.
On the climate.
Hmm.
I said on the climate and weather.
Yeah.
And where I was joking about finding the plans for the 1950s atomic bomb shelters that were so popular back then, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Because if depending on how much ash gets kicked out, your house might not survive it.
Yeah.
Here's a schematic. I just threw it into the I pulled it from the USGS site.
Okay, let me just a second to get it.
You've got mail.
Why can't I not find this?
All right, now make it shine. There we go.
Okay, so that top chamber is further down than we can drill by a substantial amount.
The magma chamber,
The topmost
not
magma
the big
chamber,
long one, but the
not the mantle plume, not the basaltic partial melt, but the rhyolite partial melt.
Yep.
That
Dinosaur
that-
look.
yeah, the one that kind of looks like a dinosaur. That's actually farther down than we can drill. We cannot reach it.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know that you could maybe bury a nuke and crack the ground enough to get down to it. But why
Mhm.
would you?
Yeah. You're just asking for trouble.
Exactly.
So maybe Bezos should start working on something that can,
Yeah.
instead of
but-
going up,
Elon
say,
Musk has his
we
boring
need you to
company.
go down.
Mm,
Get down, Bezos. Get down.
where it's labeled Moho,
Yeah.
that's shorthand for the Mohorovičić discontinuity. That is the boundary between the bottom of the crust and the top of the mantle.
Yeah. Wasn't there a drill project named the Moho Project? At one
Yeah,
point?
that's we have. I don't know if they ever managed to get that far. And you can only do, even if you could, you can only do that on a sea floor, which was where they were drilling, because it's thinner there. Here you're talking about mountains.
Yeah.
Okay, so continental crusts are thicker than oceanic crusts,
Yes.
and continental mountain crusts, they're kind of like icebergs. For as much as you see sticking up, there's that much going down.
Yeah.
So it's just doggone thick there. It just
It's like the difference.
really,
It's
really
like the
hard for us
difference
to get
between
to
digging
it.
a hole in your yard and digging a hole in your concrete driveway.
Yes,
And
or digging a hole from the top of the Empire State Building.
Can't you do that for penny?
I'm going to interrupt for a second, Dan. Time
Yep.
check.
I was just about to say it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
I shall see you
Thursday.
when I can.
Godspeed, Dan.
And
Bye-bye.
Be careful. Plug in for us.
Bring her home safe.
Yep.
all right.
Take care.
So am I
You're making
am I
sense to me.
bracketing the problem for everybody?
Yeah, that did it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to say I was wrong about the timestamp on that video. It wasn't 13 minutes. It was 13 minutes and 37 seconds.
Okay.
I mean, that 37 seconds is all the difference in the world.
No, I'm just going to be struggling. I probably will be struggling to get through watching it.
Just don't have any hammers or bricks or anything like that near your flat screen.
Hopefully, Elron
video
will show
is
up
in
with
your
calmer
messenger.
nerves.
What was that, Dan? What was that, Joe?
The video is in your messenger now. So you can check it out in a little bit.
Okay, I see it.
All right. 3 bottles of water in. I'll be back.
I've been there, done that. I put
So-
this sucker away today.
The Boeing capsule, the Starliner capsule, finally made it to the International Space Station.
Yes.
Despite losing 3 out of the 10 engines. But hey, but it got in there. They've got a great picture, and I'm actually looking at it right now. I might bring it up here and say, I don't know if I can bring it up because it's a news thing. They show them the astronauts from the ISS going into the Starliner capsule to get the supplies out. I didn't realize this. They've got a spacesuit strapped in there
Yeah, I would think.
with a dummy in it, just
Oh,
in the Starliner capsule.
crash test dummy.
It's kind of funny. It looks like a red bandana stuffed inside the helmet. But Rosie the Rocketeer is her name. I believe they're testing female spacesuits.
Ah, okay.
That and there's news from the International Space Station. They have basically deadlined all of the NASA EVA suits. They're all leaking water from the cooling system.
Oh,
Of course, they've been up there for what, 24 years?
yeah.
And just using the same suit over and over again. So,
Well,
Well,
24
I mean,
years is a pretty good life out of a suit.
it really is. It
and
really
you
is.
try wearing the same suit for 24 years, see how it goes.
Well, don't wear it every day, but you know.
Yeah, but the pressurization depressurization cycle does stress them. So
Yeah. But still, that's pretty doggone good. To
it
last
really
that
is. It really is. So I'm not going to complain about that. Welcome back.
Oh, and Chris, after the show, please hang around. I got some updates for you on Grillzilla,
long. Okay,
and you ain't gonna like it.
lovely.
Uh-oh. Well, I called and attempted to make reservations at the hotel today for HallowCon, and the guy was like, "Okay, what's your name again?" And I gave him my name. Are you getting here Thursday or Friday? Friday. Okay. Were you here last time? I said, yes. Okay, I'll just get your stuff off last time and charge it to the credit card you used then. And bye. No no confirmation number. And I didn't get to check to see whether or not if I used one of the credit cards that had Daryl's name on it,
Yeah.
that credit card's dead. They closed it out. I tried to get them.
Well, I told you I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
I know, but I'm just it just was kind of a little weird. I went, eh?
Bob was probably in a hurry. He was probably getting ready to eat.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, theoretically I've got reservations. So
All right. I had to step away from a comment just then.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, I pretty much turned around and told Chris what had happened, and he said he'd take care of it. So
Yeah.
bless his heart.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna tell you, Chris is all the logistic stuff that happens with HallowCon is Chris.
Yeah,
I'm about
and he's good at it too.
I'll try.
Evidently, he didn't hear that. Good.
He did. He said he tries. You do more than try, hon. You do.
He didn't hear what I said.
Oh.
I heard what you said.
I was expecting.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was expecting a Bill Sarton out of you.
Yeah, I'm used to it, but now.
I was giving him the floor to do it too, and he just didn't want to do it.
Man, I underhanded and laid it right across the plate.
Hey, it needs to be done. Somebody's got to do it. I'm one that does it.
Oh, I've got a new habit on YouTube now, watching baseball highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there was this one where this pitcher was up, his first time pitching in major leagues. His first batter was a strikeout. He struck out his first batter. His first batter was his big brother. Real life big brother.
Was it Nolan Ryan?
No. No, Nolan Ryan underhanded one pitch to his brother the first time.
Mm-hmm.
No, not
Oh.
it wasn't, bro. It was knuckleballer at Atlanta.
Phil Necro.
Necro, yeah. His first pitch to his brother was underhand, and he still couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
Okay. The Rosie the
Joe
Rocketeer suit they sent up, the reason they call it Rosie the Rocketeer is to honor the original Rosie the Riveter.
Which is an old creation.
And the band. I told you it looked like it had a bandana in the face mask.
Hmm.
That's the bandana she wore for the photograph. And there's something. Let me read the other half of it here.
Cool. Good, Donna. I'm glad you got that confirmation number.
Oh, the spacesuit is wearing the welding mask and the bandana. Not quite
Cool.
sure how they got the welding mask on it. Wonder if it's in the chest plate or something.
I don't know. But to look at the Boeing spacesuit and the SpaceX spacesuit, I hate to say it, the SpaceX spacesuit looks sexy.
Well, I'm sure Elon wanted it to be designed with as much flexibility and fluidity of movement as possible.
No, they still say when they pressurize it, it's a balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when it's not pressurized, he wanted it to be as flexible and as
Oh yeah, it does.
fluid as possible.
And I just saw something today that they lost a major amount of office space down in Boca Chica. They moved it out of one of their factories.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, it's the crew access arm for the launch tower. They built it 3 years ago.
Wait, run that by me again.
Yeah. They built the crew access arm 3 years ago for the tower that they just built last year.
Okay.
So
They
good
were-
planning.
So they were, just to keep it, they kept it in a building and they were using it as office spaces. That's how big the crew access arm is.
Okay.
Wow.
It's on a long container type looking thing.
I'd like to be able to go there and just tour the place one day.
Oh, Chris, they say if you're like one of me that sit and watch everything happen,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot comprehend the size of that stuff. Stephanie probably understands what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this thing's bigger than anything ever built.
I mean, how big is the island of Boca Chica anyway?
Depends on sea level.
Yeah.
I'm sure it depends on sea level.
There have been times that they've had flooding rains and the water draining from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The launch site was an island. You couldn't get to the launch site.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm looking.
So he's probably going to have to design some flooding mitigation systems into the
well,
property
they're
before
waiting for
something.
FAA approval to come back. I mean, it's one of those. If FAA goes, nope, you ain't launching that down here, they've got to back up and punt. Everything shifts to Florida.
Yeah.
They've got to build all those buildings in Florida.
Wow.
What I'm looking at, the island is a big triangle about a mile on each side.
Okay.
And they say on launch day they've got to evacuate like an 8-mile radius of the launch pad.
Wow.
Turns out that he's not the first to have attempted powered rocket flight in the area. During the years that the ship channel was under construction, A nationally known rocket plane entrepreneur, William Swan, disappeared over Boca Chica as he attempted a rocket powered human flight in 1933.
Wow.
As part of a skydiving exhibition over the Del Mar Resort on Boca Chica, he jumped out of an airplane in an attempted manned rocket backpack flight. He disappeared into the clouds and was never seen again.
Wow.
That reminds me of,
Oh, Wally Coyote.
well, that too. But no, there was a Mexican magician who once claimed that for his next trick, he would count to 3 and disappear. And so he shouts out, "Unos, dos," and then poof, he vanishes into thin air. Say the punchline, Joe Dog. I know you know it.
Vanished without a trace.
There you go. It's a Joe Dog type of joke, so I knew he would know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It took me a second there. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, when they do the static fire on the full engine static fire, it will be the most rocket engines ever ignited at one time.
Cool.
33,
And when is this supposed to happen?
probably in June, if it doesn't blow up on the pad.
Well, hopefully it won't, but
Now, are they going to launch a Starship on a Super Heavy or just a Super Heavy?
No, they're going to launch Starship on the Super Heavy. They're going for orbital. Next flight is orbital. Well, it won't make a complete orbit, but it will be orbital altitude, orbital velocity, and then deorbit on the other side of the planet and try to land off like 40 miles off the coast of Hawaii
okay.
in that missile range over there.
Okay.
And you can go away.
What? What I
What, do
missed?
we have a Russian bot?
No, somebody being smartass, but their comments aren't going to make it up, and they're fixing to go away. So,
Yeah.
idiom 7, bite me.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Another cowardly troll with nothing better to do.
We haven't had those quite a while.
Yeah, well, most of them got drafted in the Russian army.
Well, that one wasn't Russian.
How did we know?
Oh, you know
Because
what?
the English
That was
was too
probably one of those American commies that's
That's
not
what-
allowed into Russia, so now they got all the time in the world to come watch our show.
Yeah, there you go. It's an American commie. I
I
like
got the
that.
feeling it was one of Chris's friends.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but they mucked up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Must be real boring in his mother's basement.
Yeah.
I find it. Well, no, I'm just not even going to dignify it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably still watching. They just can't comment anymore, which is even better.
Yeah, because we just get here to talk about, how he didn't get the new Barbie for his collection.
Na, 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 you can come in.
And he was a YouTuber too, so that
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, God. YouTubers.
especially when we block when we block a YouTuber, it gets filed to
That's
the
like admitting you like Miracle Whip. Jeez.
He gets filed where, Joe Dog?
it gets filed at YouTube that they've been blocked, and you can only get blocked from so many channels.
Oh.
which is probably why his name was a bunch of letters.
And there's Mike Jimmy. Hey, how are you doing?
Good morning.
Wake up!
You know, we can actually say good morning. Well, Stephanie can't, but
No.
we can say good morning and still be.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be awake.
That's two words that should never be put together. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Captain. Remember they had it was the other Captain Kangaroo theme song where they would start off the episode with about 10 or 12 different celebrities. And I mean, they got everybody. They would get presidents. They would get all kinds of different, movie actors and rock stars and everything else saying, "Good morning, Captain." And then they went into that song.
I'll tell you what we need to do. We got to figure out a way to get a bunch of Black Rifle coffee to Mike Jimmy.
Not sure you want to do that.
Well,
Actually, Walmart has it now.
well, he's international.
Yeah, he's in Amsterdam. Or not Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
Well, surely they have Walmarts there. Walmarts and McDonald's.
Let me see if I can find it. There's some stockholders about to take legal action.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Why?
There's evidently some evidence indicating that when he went public with the company, that he
was very honest.
Yeah.
So close, and I didn't realize it.
He was what? I heard about three of you at the same time.
He was not very honest in the way he went about it.
Oh. And this cannot be corrected, or?
Oh, it can be corrected, but it's likely to put, if it turns out to be the truth, it's likely to put him under the jail and take down the company.
Yeah.
Or cause it to collapse.
He went Martha Stewart with the company.
Yeah.
And yet she made a recovery after a little bit of prison time.
Well, yes, she's friends with Snoop Dogg. What do you expect?
When they put the stock up for sale, the IPO was so high, he turned around and sold off his shares with the IPO so high. And didn't report it, or is that how you read it, Stephanie?
Something like that, yeah. That's that's not my particular bailiwick, but yeah, there evidently there were a number of there was limited stock being traded publicly while running up the price, and him selling his stock for an overinflated price, and the overinflated price was not a legitimate price, or a whole bunch of stuff like that. And I don't really understand it all. That's just what I read in what I saw. So how true it is, I don't know. These are all alleged. And I'm anything but the person to be trying to explain it. Scientist, I may be. Financial guru, I am not.
And
I'm sure we'll all watch it on TMZ before you know it.
Well, I looked at my Robinhood stock today, and my Rocket Lab that I bought $75 worth is now worth $8.45.
What?
Yeah. Let me look again.
You bought it for $75.
Yeah.
And now it's $8 and some change?
Oh no, now it's $4.70.
Oh,
I bought in at 14.44. I bought 5 shares.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh,
I'm biting my tongue. I'm biting my tongue.
yeah, I lost my butt on that one.
So
Well,
far.
Tesla 2 weeks ago was over $1,000. It's now 665.
Ooh.
$6.65 a
Six
share.
hundred sixty-five.
Oh,
Walmart.
That would have been brutal.
Well, they got some issues going on with them anyway. That's probably causing a little bit of panic. So
The only one I got
Buying
any
Twitter.
money make on right now is Walmart. I don't even want to talk about the Twitter. Oh dear God, no, I'm not. No. Let's just say right now, if I sold, I could make money back on my taxes.
hmm.
But we're not financial advisors. I'm not saying sell.
Yeah.
I'm saying buy.
No.
Right now, when stocks like that are low, buy.
Joe, are you saying sell with an S or sell with a C? One could lead to another.
No, buy it, buy it, buy it. When you see a stock that you know is going to be a good investment and it drops, buy it.
But know that it's a good investment before you do so.
Yes. Good grief. Okay. Already?
Getting
Pretty
close.
close.
Yeah, Mike. Unfortunately, Dan had to leave and pick up his lovely wife, so there will be no last
Picking up
minute
his wife at the
spending
airport.
following the show.
Yep.
Let's hope his girlfriend doesn't find out.
Yeah,
I asked my
that's the
wife.
risk you take.
I asked my wife if I could have a girlfriend tonight.
And you're still standing?
She said sure, but you get the house and the kids. I'm going. Oh fuck no.
Okay. That fits Donna.
That sounds like
I'm
some.
I'm just surprised you're still standing.
Oh, we
Doesn't look like he's standing.
All right, upright then.
conscious. We've never. Let me rephrase that. We had. I have never hit her, and she's never hit me to inflict much damage.
She has done it with such enthusiasm, though she didn't realize how hard she did it.
Yeah.
Too
Stephanie,
many jokes, not enough time.
yeah, you were there for that, weren't you? Where she hit me in the face with a pie.
No.
I was there. I saw it.
And they said it was supposed to be one of those little metal pie pans.
With pie crust?
Well, apparently, yeah, they didn't tell Donna not to use a cast iron frying pan. And
No,
I've never heard a cream pie go
Joe is
bang
lucky.
before. Okay.
His head's still on attached to his shoulders.
Stephanie, you could see the shape of my nose, cheekbones, and eyes in the
In a-
bottom of the pan.
And and he had the name Lodge imprinted in reverse on the front of his face.
Stephanie, he had about half a dozen people check to make sure he was okay afterwards.
Wow.
I had professional wrestlers go, ooh, Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to look. They said his nose is broke. His nose is broke. Hey, if it wasn't for the graham cracker crust shoved up my nose, it would probably have been bleeding.
I was going to say, how long did it take you to get all of the pie out of the various orifices?
I was blowing graham cracker crust 2 days later.
Stephanie, did I ever show you the picture?
No,
I thought I showed it to you.
Well,
I will make sure.
maybe you did, and I'm just not remembering it. So
needless to
Uh,
say, if I was a booger eater, it would have tasted cinnamon for a few days.
Well, that photo could be a teaser for Thursday night show.
yeah,
that the photo has the cream filling going like feet away
oh wow,
after it made contact.
You know the side tables.
uh
You know,
huh,
you got your, you know how we have our performance area and
mm-hmm.
the tables off to the side. You could
Mhm.
see people in the picture at those tables going,
Okay.
It brings back imagery of Sledge-O-Matic and Gallagher.
we
I
can
got
go a little. We can go a little extra since we don't have to rush off to get Dan on the air. We're not going to make a habit of it, but yeah. Oh,
adjust my screen to lift Chris up.
what?
I keep trying to adjust my screen to lift Chris up.
Yeah, Chris has got his camera.
There you
set.
go. There you
Need
go.
to pull it down, and that light over his head wouldn't make him look like he's got a bright idea.
Yes.
So we went from talking about Yellowstone.
We're calling him Saint Christopher.
So we went from talking about Yellowstone eruption and a possible tour to a coconut cream winter from what happened with Joe Dog.
Something like, yes, it sounds like.
I mean,
Coconut cream spewed for thousands of miles.
somebody had a video, and video with sound, and you could hear around behind me, and people going, "Ooh."
Ouch.
She got it on the curtains behind. And we were up to the front of the performance area.
Oh my.
Well, when she wound up, I don't even think a professional pitcher winds up that hard.
Well, did she actually did it come out of her hand, or was she still, did she like push it into your face?
Hold on just a second.
I'm about to send a better picture of it without being
That one's good enough.
Yeah, but it's showing the group. And hold on, I'm sending an actual picture.
Yeah, well, we can show this one. This one's good enough. There we go.
Oh my gracious day.
See the people.
Yeah, try to get out of the way of the splat. Yeah, no wonder it molded to the shape of your face.
And the grin on her face.
Yep.
Oh, she was enjoying it.
All right, well, we are out of time. We're at the top of the hour. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank our illustrious panel that popped in, and Lewis, who left.
And Dan.
Hey, Kiri.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, we're logging out, bud.
No last man standing tonight, Kerry.
Yeah, no last man standing tonight. Dan's got some family commitments he's got to take care of. But we will be back Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central.
8
So-
Central.
Yep, 8 Central. Where is my button? My button moved. There it is. All right. I want to thank everybody. Chris, if you want to, I need you to sort of hang around.
Okay.
If any of the rest of y'all want to hang around, you can. But we are going to pack it out. John, clear out Kiri's comment real quick so it doesn't show up on the closing.
Sure.
All right.
And
And
I'll turn off that banner too.
all right. And I want to thank everybody. And guys, it's time to say goodnight, everybody.
Like
Good
and
night,
Dios,
everybody.
amigos.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.